wherever you want to talk sports.
Now it's time for Monty in the Morning.
Hey, yo, man. It is Thursday, October 28th, 2021. Bro.
Yeah.
A week from now, we won't be doing this show. We will be driving to Mammoth Mountain, California. Off next Thursday and Friday. So get it while you can, MFers. We have got Packers and Cardinals tonight. Water's wet and J.J. Watt's out for the year. We'll talk about that game coming up. By the way, should be noted that the Cardinals are a 6.5-point home favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a good game. So we'll talk about that coming up. We got to get to your favorite college basketball coach, which is kind of an oxymoron because you hate college basketball, getting a DUI, and it was caught on tape, and Jake has some feelings about drunkards behind the wheel.
Douchebags.
You're pretty passionate about this, more passionate than I thought you would be.
Yeah.
So,
I am.
I mean, the only thing you're more passionate about is being single.
Right.
And we all know how passionate you are about that.
And fast cars. I mean, that's just what it is, you know?
No, not fast. You drive a Subaru. That's the opposite of fast.
Right.
The
right.
opposite of full.
Right.
Hello.
Right.
Before we do too much on this show, you must hit subscribe on our YouTube channel because we're giving away this Xbox Series S. It delivers something like 500 gigs of storage.
Yeah.
You know,
it's big.
It's got a web browser.
Yeah.
Porn as possible.
Hey, look at me.
We're giving that away at 3,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit subscribe right now. Take a picture that you're subscribed and then tag us in that photo on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, or the old TikTok machine. I am The Monty Show. MONTY, The Monty Show. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Jake is SLC Supercars. You can find him on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at SLC Supercars. What's up, Cody Strickland? First one in today. He says, morning, booze. Hey, boo.
Wow.
All right. I feel better. What?
Was
that awkward for you?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
You know.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
It is sus.
It definitely is sus.
As is the Jazz at Rockets tonight. That game is going to tip right about 6 o'clock, and I actually think this is going to be an interesting game. Jazz are a 9-point home or a road favorite. The number's 222.5.
Yeah.
So you're thinking each team's going to score a minimum of 111 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious, on a surface level, are the Utah Jazz as good as they were last year this year? Because we know that last year the Jazz finished with the best record in the NBA, even though multiple stars and, Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley were injured for long stretches of the season. The Jazz still finished with the best record in the NBA. But this year, something feels a little different. The Jazz are off to a great start. They're undefeated so far. This will be, game 4 for the Jazz tonight against an upstart, young and improving Houston Rocket team.
Rocket.
I think this is going to be a real challenge tonight. So, Jake, point blank, are the Utah Jazz better this year than they were last year?
Yeah, I think they are a little bit better this year than they were last year. I do think that they have yet to play their best basketball, which is kind of saying something considering they haven't lost yet. But, yeah, I do think they're a better overall team this year than they were last year. I think you look at the depth that they have. There's no question it's better, right? You just look at the Derek Favors for Hassan Whiteside, switch that they made right there. You're already a better team. So we're not even accounting for, the Jared Butler draft pick and some of the other things like, bringing in Eric Paschall. Like you're definitely better. But, it'll be interesting to see as this team kind of comes together and, we get to game 20, game 25, game 30, you really start to get into the meat of this schedule. What this team turns into. I mean, tonight is a great example. This team tonight is going to have to shoot the three ball well to beat this Rocket team. And I'm not sitting here saying that the Rockets are a better team because they're not. But what I'm most concerned about is the athleticism the Rockets bring to the floor. And this really kind of plays back to this question of, are the Jazz better this year than they were last year? Well, from a roster perspective, they are. However, in the athleticism category, they are not. In fact, I would tell you they probably are a little bit worse than they were last year because everyone's a year older. So tonight, when you're playing a extremely athletic Houston Rockets team with guys like Jalen Green who are looking to end you at the rim, who are looking to dunk on you, who are looking to have a track meet, that's not the best setup for the Jazz. So I'll be really, really curious to see tonight what the Jazz try to do. I would assume that they're not going to want to get out in transition against this Rocket team. I would assume that they're going to want to play a slower, more methodical game, which would make perfect sense. And if they do that, I think they'll win the game. But when I look at last year versus this year, I think the Jazz are a better team overall. But that athleticism piece still really is lacking, and that's going to be concerning when you play teams like the Kings and the Rockets and all these young upstart athletic teams. So that's something to watch for tonight.
Yeah, and I think you have a lot of young upstart teams. And the interesting thing that I think we've seen so far this year, and I think this very much applies to the Jazz, is that you don't know who the elite of the elite are yet. Like I think when we look at the Lakers, Brooklyn, Phoenix, like we haven't seen very many teams playing their best basketball, and I don't know why that is. In the very secretive lockdown pre-show meeting here on the Monty Show,
behind the scenes,
classified, special shit. You had some. I thought you had an interesting point about that. Even though this season the NBA is back on schedule, there are very many teams and very many guys who simply are not in their routine or back on schedule.
Yeah, well, because I think it's been an interesting couple of seasons, and those seasons tend to add up. So I mean, you look at the bubble season, number one, and then you look at how short the offseason was after that bubble season. So like the Jazz, if we all remember, had played the Nuggets and got eliminated. And then you have a really short offseason after the bubble, and you head right into the next season. So right there, your timing's already off. You only had a couple of weeks off there. Then last season, you play a long season. You get to the second round, like you're grinding it out, and you get eliminated. And then what do we have? We're now getting back on track with regular NBA timing, but still, it's not like you had a really long, methodical offseason like you typically would. You had a 6 to 8 week offseason, which really is not that much time when you think about it, especially in an Olympic year. So then you take all those things, you add those up, and you start to look at guys like, Dame, there's a bunch of guys around the league. Like I look at the Lakers squad, having some trouble right now. I look at James Harden, who's really struggling. Like you have stars in the league who are struggling, and that's because of the Olympic year and the difference in off-season timing. So if you had an injury, like let's say James Harden, you're spending 5 weeks, getting your hamstring right, Mike Conley. It's going to take you probably 10 to 15 games to get your feet back under you. So I think that's what we're seeing right now. But that said, with the Utah Jazz, I still think they're playing solid basketball, and they still have better basketball yet to be played. That's the thing. They still have not played their best basketball yet. So yeah, I think the timing of these off seasons has not been ideal, and I think we're just seeing that right now. So I guess the real takeaway is what you see right now won't define what this season will hold at the end of the year. This is a lot of teams just kind of getting warmed up, I guess.
Well, and I think the thing that comes to mind for me, and I guess this is how I would wrap this question before we get into this game tonight, but the thing that comes to mind for me is that you have Donovan Mitchell not nearly playing his best basketball. I mean, I think you're seeing a guy who's not nearly 100% of his game anyway. Physically, he looks great. But I think it just takes time to get back to being who you are. And James Harden is openly talking about this. Like with his hamstring, he had multiple grade 2 hamstring injuries last year. So he didn't get to play all summer long. Like you didn't see Donovan Mitchell playing in scrimmages. You didn't see, James Harden playing in scrimmages like you usually do because they're recovering from injuries. So you see them taking part in one-on-one work or drills. But playing in a game is very different. And when you play in the NBA and you're not 100%, and part of that, by the way, is more mental than physical, I think it takes time to get back to who you are. Because you see Donovan Mitchell, sometimes it looks like he lands a little gingerly and you're like, uh-oh, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm fine. I think there's a lot of that mental toll in how painful that ankle was last year that Don's just not quite simply 100% over.
Yeah.
So I think that takes time. And then you look at a matchup like you have tonight. I think tonight is going to be a very, very difficult night for the Utah Jazz. I mean, this Rockets team, And again, because I have no life, and yeah, frankly, all I do is eat chips and watch NBA games. You know, I've seen a lot of this Houston Rockets team this year, and they are much improved. They are very much improved. And you look at the way they play basketball, Jake. I think the Houston Rockets are going to be a handful for the Jazz.
Yeah, I mean the thing that's going to decide this game, and really it's two things. So number one, like I was just saying before, the Utah Jazz ability to shoot the basketball is going to, like, to shoot the three ball rather, is going to be a big factor in whether this is a one possession game going to the fourth quarter or a 10-point lead going to the fourth quarter. Okay, so that's number one. But number two, in this, if you're a Jazz fan, is what I'd really be looking for tonight, especially early on when the players are fresh, is how much emphasis are the Rockets putting on pushing the pace and getting up the floor quickly before Rudy gets down to rim protect. Because if you think about it, if you're the Rockets, you know that this Utah Jazz team is better than you, and you know that Rudy Gobert is a fierce rim protector. You know he's someone that you have to deal with. And so what I won't be surprised if tonight the Rockets roll out and they're looking to push the pace and get some easy buckets in transition. I think that the other thing too is, like, when they're playing half court basketball, like, how does Quinn position Rudy to make sure that he can help? You know, how do they play the cat and mouse game of the Houston Rockets wing players being able to get by, you know, Bogey or whoever tends to be playing that position, and how does Gobert get to help? Because that's he's gonna have to help tonight. That's gotta happen tonight, or it's not gonna end well for the Jazz. So I think those are the little games within the game that you got to be looking for, because that ultimately is what's going to decide things. Are the Rockets getting to the rack consistently? Is Rudy consistently putting pressure on them and pushing them out? And are the Utah Jazz shooting the three ball at a high percentage? Because the other night, I think, what did we say they were, like 13 of whatever it was, like 13 of 30
They shot
or something?
30% the other night.
Yeah, so, like, they didn't shoot well the other night. So they need to shoot well, and they need to play good help defense tonight to win this game.
Yeah, I think if you are the Utah Jazz, you're watching that Rockets Mavericks tape from the other night, because I think that's very indicative of who this Houston Rockets team is.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to compete against everybody they play, and if you are on the road at, what is it, Toyota Center in Houston, you're going to have your hands full. And I look at the fact that you get performances out of, you know, really 7 guys on that Rockets team, and not one of them is probably 15 years old. But, I mean, you look at, like, Kevin Porter Jr., I think we don't even know what kind of player he is yet. That's how little we know about Kevin Porter Jr., because he's played so little basketball because he's a nutcase, frankly.
He is.
But now that you're seeing him kind of calm down emotionally, and he spent his entire summer in New York with Chris Brickley, you're seeing a very, very much improved player in Kevin Porter Jr. that, frankly, I think I look at these guards in Houston, and I ask myself, who do the Jazz have to match up? Okay, well, you know, if you look at it, you're probably putting Don on Jalen Green, I would think, right? Well, that's a really tough matchup. Okay, well, now you're probably going to put Mike Conley on Kevin Porter Jr. Hey, that's a very difficult matchup.
And that's not a criticism of Don or Conley. That's literally almost an impossible matchup for anybody in the league right now.
Because I think the thing that's so difficult is you look at Kevin Porter's body. The guy's 6'4", 200 pounds.
Yeah.
But he plays much more physically than that. And you're looking at a guy that's going to give you 14 points and 4 boards a night. Those two guys together are very difficult for the Jazz. And I look at Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert's a better center than Christian Wood is right now.
Yep.
But by how much? On the offensive end, like how much better is he?
Listen, speed is what you're looking for tonight, right? What do we know about this Jazz team? We know that they do well against teams who are a little bit slower and a little bit more methodical, right? The matchup, it favors the Jazz more. But then, you know, when you're playing a team that's looking to get out in transition and really looking to push the pace, that's not as good of a matchup for the Jazz. And so that's why I say, you know, when we talk about, hey, how well are they going to shoot from 3, think about the repercussion for missing a three. What does that typically lead to? A long rebound with one pass to get to the other end. And that you can't have that tonight. That you're just not going to be able to stop them. Nobody has shown the ability in the league yet to stop this Houston Rockets team. So again,
and they rebound really well.
They do because they're athletic. They can outjump you. So
and they play Tice and Wood together in their starting five, or they have the last couple of games.
Yeah.
So you're getting a double every night out of Wood. Tice, you can take him or leave him. He against the Jazz, he's probably a 10-10 guy.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all they need from him to be, because he probably only plays 25 minutes for them.
Right.
And then, you look at Eric Gordon off their bench. He's still an elite 3-point shooter. You look at what you get, from Daniel House Jr. or, DJ Augustine. Like they have depth and they run a lot. So I'm interested to see, because this Jazz team loves to play up-tempo basketball.
Right.
They like to get up and down, because what does that lead to? That leads to open threes.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, how much Jordan Clarkson do we see tonight? Because my guess is you're going to see quite a bit of Jordan Clarkson tonight, I would think, because I think you're going to see less Joe Ingles and less Bojan Bogdanovic tonight.
Yeah.
And I would think that means that you're going to see a lot more rotational players off the bench. I would love to see a lot of Jared Butler. I'd love to see a lot of Jordan Clarkson tonight.
Agreed.
I think a lot of Hassan Whiteside tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you're going to see them get up and down, because don't forget that you look down the next 5 days, the Bulls and Bucks are waiting for you. So
Yep.
I think tonight's going to be fascinating. If you're going to watch a Jazz game, I would absolutely tell you to make sure you don't miss this game.
Yeah, 6 o'clock,
because it's going to be telling. And again, the number is the Jazz are favored by 9. 222.5 is a number on this game.
Yeah.
I think it goes way over the 222.
Yeah, so this is definitely gonna be a high scoring affair. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not gonna be a defensive matchup. This is a matchup where I would expect, like, don't be surprised tonight if the Jazz take 45, maybe even 53s tonight. Don't be surprised. That's the kind of game you're gonna be playing tonight. So that's what I'd be looking for, and I think. Again, I know everyone's probably in the comments calling us idiots or not smart, but I'm telling you, this Houston Rockets team is not a cakewalk, man. I know they're not the best team in the league. They're definitely not better than the Jazz, but I think that the athleticism and the ability to get up and down in the NBA is lethal, and it's tough to stop.
Jeremy Bolton's in. He wants to know how many minutes Jaren Hall's going to play tonight.
I'm not sure, man.
I'm
I'm not
he
sure.
He never said that. He never said that. I made that up.
Oh, you made that up. Okay.
I made that up.
Okay.
All
right.
Cody Strickland says, last night almost every game went for the Jazz but the Timberwolves game. Last night? James Knight said, good day, lads. Good day, mate. How about those Lakers, Monty? And your man Monk came up big in the clutch. Well, they melted down last night.
Yeah.
But I think the Lakers are a pretty interesting example of this.
Mm-hmm.
So you backstopped injuries, and now you have an injury in LeBron James, and the second half was maybe the worst half of basketball I've ever seen the Lakers play.
After the street closed Davis.
He was excellent last night.
Mm-hmm.
He was excellent again. Now, again, he was laying on the floor writhing in pain last night because his contact popped out.
That's every day.
Right.
I'm not allowed to make female body part jokes anymore. But the point is that Anthony Davis was on the floor crying again, but he put up 30 points. Now, this whole thing with Russell Westbrook at the end of the game, you need to get over it. I mean, there was 5 seconds to go. You're up. You're trailing by 5. You throw the ball away, and OKC has every reason to dunk the ball.
Yeah.
You don't want him to dunk the ball. Don't throw a terrible inbound pass. It's just my opinion. James Harden isn't doing well because the change on the rule for him playing plenty. No, there's not. This rule change is not why James Harden's not doing well. And I loved, it was so funny to me. 3 members of the media that cover the Utah Jazz, there was a video of James Harden essentially looking for a foul, and he didn't get it last night.
Mm-hmm.
And these 3 members of the Jazz media tweeted out saying, "Oh, this is such good news." Yeah.
Mm.
And it's like, well, you realize that the Jazz are maybe the worst offenders at complaining to the officials. You understand that, right? Like Rudy Gobert, literally, it was to the point the other night that you have Donovan Mitchell walk up to Rudy Gobert and tell him, hey, you need to calm down. Because he's yelling and screaming at the officials on a foul where Rudy absolutely committed the foul.
Yeah.
Without question. Forearm in the back and then a rake of the arm, and you're complaining to the officials.
Yep.
Like, that's the stuff that kills me, right? Does James Harden flop? Yeah, but so does everybody else. I mean, and the thing that kills me is people that pick on James Harden, you don't have to like James Harden. He's a guy that by the end of this year is going to have multiple 40, 35, 45, 50-point games. He's going to figure it out. And if you could have James Harden on your team, you'd absolutely take him.
In a second.
Without even hesitation. If today you could replace James Harden with Mike Conley, Mike Conley with James Harden, you'd do that in a second. And I'm telling you, like, all of this hate for James Harden, I love it. Because I don't even like James Harden. He's not nearly one of my favorite players.
You've been a noted James Harden hater, for sure.
But you have to respect his game.
Yeah, so here's my thoughts on the new rules. I think I do agree that it is good for the league. I think the league had gotten to a point where a lot of guys were just manufacturing fouls.
I agree.
So, like Harden, Curry, KD, like all the best players in the league were doing it, which is why they're the best players in the league, right? They know how to exploit the rules.
Yeah, the Kevin Durant arm swing through.
The swing through. And, so you've got, this goes all the way back to Kobe times. I mean, Kobe was notorious for this stuff. So, I just think that, is it good for the league? Yeah, I think it's good for the league. However, I don't think we should be hating on guys, because they're not getting the foul call or, the whole not this year X player, not this year Steph. Like, the problem is not this year for your team. It's probably just another year for your team. Even though the rules change, your team probably isn't going to win a championship. And that's just the facts of the case. The best players in the league will take over.
There's 2-3 teams in this league every year that can win a championship.
Yeah. So
I just think the James Harden vitriol
people hate him
funny.
because of how Houston ended and because he went to the Nets. That's why people hate him.
I think people hate him because he's very good. And yes, he draws a lot of fouls. I mean, I just don't know. I think the NBA is one of the most difficult sports in the world to officiate.
Yeah.
And I think no matter what, people are going to complain about the officiating. And the best teams in the league have one guy that talks to the officials. The Lakers, LeBron talks to the officials all the time. You don't see 3-4 guys, although it's interesting, Russ last night melting down. I think the Lakers have are a work in progress.
Yeah.
That team, it's just going to take time. And having LeBron out of the lineup with this ankle thing is not helping because chemistry-wise, I look at the Phoenix Suns, and I think it's wear and tear. I think it's absolutely miles on the tires as to why the Suns are not playing well. Because Devin Booker looks great.
Yeah.
But Devin Booker's also, a young guy that's in phenomenal shape. So playing in the NBA Finals and then the Olympics and then spending he spent like 45 days doing nothing.
Yeah.
And then he got right back to work.
Which for a body of that caliber is more than enough time.
Yeah. So I think he's playing well. The Suns are not. And a lot of it is Chris Paul has just got no lift right now.
Yeah.
So I think the league is absolutely evolving. But when you look at everybody, like how many people on this show said the Warriors were trash? Well, you might want to go back and rethink that because Steph Curry's playing pretty freaking amazing basketball.
MVP level basketball.
I mean, the hezzy that Devin Booker dropped last night,
Dude.
My God. I mean.
And that's what makes the NBA great. And that's why I say the league is going to get better as the year goes on. And that's why if we take this back to the original question about, better than last year, yes, better than last year. However, everybody else is better than last year too. So at the end of the day, when we look at the record and everyone thinks this team's going to win 55 games, we'll see if that's the case. Are they capable? Absolutely. But also just remember, you've got all these teams like the Clippers and the Nuggets and the Suns and the Lakers and even the Blazers on certain nights that are very good. The Western Conference is deep.
Did you see that three? You probably didn't, but did you see the three that Dame hit last night?
I didn't.
Contested from like 600 feet. The game was over, and he walked out into the parking lot and hit a three. I mean, that guy.
Range.
Yeah. But, it's, and I guess Cody Strickland and I will disagree. He says half of Harden's points came from the free throw line, foul shot, and now he needs to play like a real player now to get those points. Okay, well, I'm going to say that no, half his points didn't come from the free throw line. And I'm going to say that when James Harden is missing wide open, like push and teardrops, you can see he's not physically well. Like you can see that he is rusty. And when he's bricking 3-point shots on a regular basis in October, when this is a guy who waits until June to brick 3-point shots, I would tell you that he's not right. And stomping on James Harden's grave is probably not your smartest basketball decision. Because and hey, Cody, you could be right. Maybe I'm an idiot. Not you already know I don't watch Jazz games, right? So
obviously,
what I'm telling you is counting the days until James Harden's dead, it's going to take you a while. Because the guy is a special player. I'm not a James Harden guy. I'm telling you he's a special player. Having the problem with the Nets right now is this Kyrie thing is hanging over them. And they are asked about it. Like last night, 2 straight questions. Would you have won this game with Kyrie Irving? And I just don't know what you're waiting for. Trade the guy. You cannot have this thing hanging over your head.
Agreed.
Because you're not going to win games until like there's so much drama around the Lakers and the Nets. That's why they're not winning games.
Yeah.
Like talent is never going to be their issue. The Lakers and the Nets are talented than just about every other roster in the league.
Yep.
And they're still not winning games. And it's because of drama. And you can't have drama. Like, this is what we talked about with Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
He's a drama queen.
He is.
He is going to be.
Last night's perfect example.
He is noisy every single day. And it wears on teams. And that's why he hops around the league. That's like he tried to convince Bradley Beal to leave Washington. That's why he's not in Washington anymore. Like, we can all tell this cool story about how Russell Westbrook wanted to go home and play for the Lakers. And he legit tried to get Bradley Beal to leave the Washington Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, you just don't. Yeah, he's a problem. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Jeremy Bolton says, "Sup, good to see you alive this morning after honey put you to task yesterday." Yeah, the beating last night.
And as you can see, I'm going through some shit right now.
Yeah, like the beating last night was pretty amazing. Let's see. You've been snunked, says Oyo Guisimadi. Okay. I think that
Bro, what are you talking about,
that means Monty, you're amazing. I agree. Brandon Whiteside says Brickley overrated. Don worked with him and now can't shoot. Hughes worked with him and can't get on the court. Yeah, Chris Brickley's overrated.
Yeah, Don can't shoot? Come on, guy. Come on.
Well, so
Stop.
what was last year with Donovan shooting?
Yeah, because he worked with Brickley last year.
Donovan Mitchell's worked for Chris Brickley for years. So, and Elijah Hughes can't get on the floor because he's not better than the guys in front of him. Okay, Elijah Hughes, who are you going to take off the floor to play Elijah Hughes? This is the same conversation we had about Azubuike when everybody was like, oh, you guys are idiots. Doak is going to play.
Oh, he's dominating Summer League.
Look at him dunk. Okay, so Elijah Hughes instead of
your mom.
Because I don't see Elijah Hughes playing instead of anybody right now. Because he's not going to get guard minutes. And how are you going to play Elijah Hughes or Joe Ingles? I'm going to play Joe Ingles, an experienced guy that knocks down the three. I'm going to play Joe Ingles. Right? Like, I mean, who? I don't. Anyway. Hi. Greg Hawkins says, howdy, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Good to see you, Greg. Jeremy Bolton says, isn't Clarkson going to be suspended tonight after leaving the bench during the scuffle with Whiteside? I don't know. I saw a lot of that.
Who the hell knows?
But I mean, wouldn't they have made that decision?
Yeah, that announcement would have been made already. If it was
unless I missed it, if somebody wants to correct me, please feel free. I haven't.
I don't think that he's suspended. I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, I would think that would have come down already. Just a quick cursory search would tell you that no, he's not suspended. So I would think we would have known about that already, but I could be wrong. Yeah, last night Memphis lost, Clippers lost, Lakers lost, Suns lost, Bucks lost, and Nets lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about going through some mess.
Yeah.
The NBA is going through some mess. James Knight says James Harden's not playing well because he's fat. That could be.
I mean, you may not be wrong. Yeah.
Illert Ginick. Hey, Illert Ginick.
Illert Ginick
says O'Neal. Okay.
You're saying that you'd play Elijah Hughes instead of Royce ONeal. Okay.
I think I would play Trent Forrest instead of Royce ONeal. Which, by the way, for once, amazing. And just as soon as you think you've seen everything.
Mm-hmm.
And are you going to...
Yeah, dude. It's Thursday. It's been a long week.
You okay?
I'm fine.
Anyway.
Keep going.
Yeah, my bad. When you think you've seen everything, when you think cancer's been cured, when you think that global warming and global hunger's gone, then Jazz fans agree with you that you should play Trent Forrest instead of Royce ONeal.
Bet you weren't expecting this one.
No, I was not expecting that at all. Holy cow. Finally, I feel like, you know what? I feel like I'm vindicated. I feel like a whistleblower who's like finally gotten justice.
Really?
Right? Like, Royce ONeal sucks. Like, he's just not very good.
So get your facts straight.
Royce ONeal's very sus.
Donnie.
Yes?
Why are you using sus?
Because sus is a great word.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
Yeah, Royce ONeal's 3-point shot, yeah, it's sus. I'm telling you that Royce ONeal's overrated. Yeah.
Because it's garbage.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is, but whatever. James Jensen says the defense is salivating at the mouth. They get to play now. Okay. Brandon Whiteside says started listening to the Whistleblower podcast with former ref Tim Donaghy, who's been on our show like thousands of times. Yeah, I know Tim pretty well. Eric C says should be a good game for the Jazz to get back into rhythm. I'm telling you guys, you are undervaluing how difficult it's going to be for the Jazz to go to Houston and win tonight. Like, are we making too much of the Rockets?
I guess we'll find out. I think the Jazz will win the game.
I've
said that repeatedly. But I think it's going to be tight. I don't think this is a 20-point win.
Spencer Morgan. Oh, man, Spence. Why didn't I think of this?
Right.
Spencer Morgan. Bench Royce ONeal and put in Jacob Conover. He's the next Michael Jordan.
And kick a person when he's down.
Jeremy Bolton says Conover plays against Houston. He's 30-30-30, triple-double.
Hey.
James Knight said if you're playing Trent Forrest in front of ONeal, he needs to be traded.
Yep.
Needs
to be traded right now.
I would tell you that Royce ONeal should have been traded at the deadline last year.
I mean, what did you guys eat for breakfast today? I mean, all of a sudden you're agreeing with us on everything.
Yeah, when did everybody get on the Monty train with Royce ONeal?
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't yesterday.
When did this happen?
I don't know.
How much peyote did you guys not smoke but ingest yesterday?
What's an erection?
Like, you know what? Okay, peyote doesn't cause erections. Anyway, the point is it the new Viagra? Ask Phil Jackson. I'm saying, all I'm asking is Royce ONeal's the guy you're going to upgrade on this team. That's what I'm saying.
Just saying.
I don't think the Jazz are going to lose this game. What I'm telling you is the Rockets are going to dunk a lot. The Rockets are going to get to the rim.
And they're going to run a lot.
And, I think it's one of these things where you get exposed, and the problem with games like tonight is it puts bad things on tape. Like I think we saw until Nikola Jokic, former fat guy who's now thin, like banged his knee. And God, that looked like it hurt.
Bad, dude.
But what did he do? I think he kind of exposed Rudy Gobert as a guy that, hey, if you can get him away from the rim, head fake him, and then go to the basket. Oh, wait, let me stop on a dime because he's going to trail block me. Pump fake spin. Rudy's going to start doing like pirouettes like a ballerina, and he's going to get a layup.
Yeah.
I don't understand why guards want to continue to pump fake, blow by Rudy, and then think they can just softly lay it up.
Excellent strategy, sir.
Yeah, for Rudy Gobert it is because he's going to block that shot.
Every time.
So the problem with games like tonight is the Jazz their lack of athleticism will be on display. They're going to win the game. They may even cover the 9. But you're going to see a lack of athleticism from the Jazz tonight compared to the Rockets because that team's young. They've got thoroughbreds that can get out and get the job done.
Yep.
There are just going to be certain teams, and most of them are young, crappy teams, thankfully, that the Jazz don't match up well with in this league because those teams are all teams that love to get out. They're AAU teams. Again, I'll point to Minnesota last year. I'll point to the Rockets this year.
They're AAU teams.
Yeah, they are. I do not want to see, if I'm the Utah Jazz, please don't ever make me play the Charlotte Hornets. Because that's a team that gets out and just plays a track.
They will lose to that team.
Yeah, that's a track. Like, I'm just saying, if Aaron Gordon blew you up, what's Miles Bridges going to do?
Yeah.
And Miles Bridges doesn't shoot the three all that well.
And he's not scared to go up and try and dunk on Rudy.
Yeah, for certain. And those are the teams that give you trouble. When you have guys like, and this is what I say about the Bulls, and everybody yesterday in the comments was like, oh, you said the Bulls are going to go undefeated and win a championship. Okay, yeah, I did say that, but my point is...
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
You should get your hearing checked. The point is, you look at like the Bulls. The game against the Bulls is going to be very difficult for the Jazz. A, it's on the road. And B, when you look at what's going on in Chicago right now, like watch them against the Knicks tonight. If you're a Jazz fan, you should be watching Bulls and Knicks tonight. Because it's a really good example, and that might be the TNT game, by the way. But it's a really good example of how the Jazz need to be playing athletically. You need to get up and down the floor, shoot the three well, but have a really good mid-range player.
Yeah.
And the Jazz have that. They just stylistically right now, for some reason, have stopped shooting the three as much as they were shooting it last year. And I think part of that is the mid-range revolution that you're seeing out of guys like Giannis, who, by the way, very quietly, am I the only one who noticed that Giannis has become a pretty elite mid-range player?
Yeah, he can shoot the ball now.
Yeah, like that.
He showed up with a jump shot somehow.
Yeah, that elbow jumper that he's making, it's over. He just give the guy the MVP trophy.
Yeah, I mean, he's
year.
also got the three though. I mean, he's more than happy and comfortable to take that three now. I'm not saying he's high percentage, but he's not going to hesitate anymore. He just takes it.
Yeah, I think it is. That Bulls-Knicks game's on NBA TV, by the way.
I'm telling you, it's good for the league that these two teams are better. That the Bulls, the Knicks, I mean, the Celtics aren't really better, but, they're still the Celtics. The league is in a good spot right now, no doubt.
Okay, did I miss something? Like, isn't Turner doing Tuesday, Thursday?
I don't know, dude. I have no idea.
I thought TNT was doing Tuesday, Thursday.
I just turn the TV on and find the channel.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Who do you like on NBA? Like, are you more of a TNT guy or are you an ESPN guy?
TNT, for sure.
Sure.
I love TNT, or what is it, NBA on TNT?
Yes.
With the four of them. And then
Kevin Harlan.
Kevin Harlan's.
Reggie Miller.
I love the Kevin Harlan, Reggie Miller broadcast. ESPN. So I love Doris Burke, but I don't love her as a color commentator. I love Doris Burke interviewing guys, being the sideline reporter. She is elite at that. But as a color commentator, I'm not as big of a fan. It's a little too slow for me. It's a little too low key, but she does a good job.
Well, but this is the conversation that has no good outcome, though.
Right.
ESPN very clearly has an initiative to put forward opportunities for women and minority women in sports.
And I have no issue with that.
No.
I think...
But I think there's a lot of pain that comes with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like on SportsCenter right now, oftentimes we'll have SportsCenter on in the background in the vaunted pre-show meeting.
Yeah.
And they mispronounce names, and they, are playing the wrong highlight and reading the wrong thing. And so you just know that the talent at ESPN is a bit young right now. So you know that mistakes are going to be made. However... on the NBA, there is pretty much nothing better than the Christmas Day game on ABC.
Nothing.
Let's just be honest about it. So, that, needless to say, on your average weekday night, I do prefer Reggie and Kevin, but on the holiday special feel, warm and fuzzy stuff, I prefer ABC.
Yeah.
That's what I prefer.
I would agree. Mark says you're saying the Bulls are better than the Jazz. You're an idiot. Okay. First of all, you got filtered for that because that's a stupid comment. Why is it so hard for people to comprehend the English language? Neither one of us said the Jazz are going to lose to the Bulls.
Or the Rockets.
What I said was, stylistically, the Bulls and the Rockets present problems for the Utah Jazz. That's what I said. I never said the Bulls are better than the Jazz. At the end of the season, I don't think the Bulls are going to finish with a better record than the Jazz. I don't. So, anyways. Illick Gnick says, I don't believe Chicago Bulls is better than the Utah Jazz. Thank you. Jeremy Bolton says, man, if the Jazz play Houston, Chicago, Charlotte, the Warriors, Lakers, T-Wolves, Nets, Suns, Cavs, and your mom, they're going to lose. Probably. I mean, they lost to the Suns last year.
I just people you can't just say, oh well, it's the Bulls, the Jazz are going to blow them out. You can't say that anymore because these teams have gotten better. Like,
Yep.
and I get that not everybody watches. I would assume, and tell me if I'm wrong, assumption. I would assume that everybody who listens to this show probably doesn't watch as much basketball as we do. I mean, we watch kind of a ridiculous amount of basketball.
And Mrs. Monty hates the NBA.
Yeah, so like, it's this whole situation where, we're watching these teams on a nightly basis. We know what their weaknesses are. We know where they're going to make mistakes, and we know where they're going to be strong, It's like with the Jazz, what we always talk about. They are not good with athleticism. They have trouble keeping up with fast teams. However, they play great defense, and they shoot the three ball well, which typically will lead to wins.
Yeah.
So we never said that they were going to lose to these teams, but we did say it was going to be tough games.
I don't know why this is so hard to understand. James Jensen says Chicago hasn't played anyone yet. Well, have the Jazz?
Not really.
I mean, you played the Nuggets, but without Nikola Jokic for anything but 15 minutes in that game. Like, it's October. Are we really crowning championships in October? Who's the best team in the NBA right now on October 28th? It's the fucking Bulls. The Bulls are playing better basketball than just about anybody else.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard to digest? Like, I don't understand. Like, are the Jazz one of the best teams in the NBA? Yeah, I think so. Ask me after the Bulls and Bucks trip here. Then you're going to know. Like, are you going to Milwaukee to win a game, or are you going to Milwaukee to die? Isn't that the last game on the trip? Like, that's going to be a very difficult trick to turn. Like, I just think we
Jazz fans tend to get real bitter.
They do.
They tend to get real bitter on us, and there's no need for that.
They do. I mean, I think the Jazz have a really good schedule that helps them a lot. They're going to play Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Bulls and Bucks back to back. And then you come home Tuesday for Sacramento before you go on another insane trip. That's Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday, Atlanta, Miami, Orlando. And then, oh, by the way, you come right back home for Atlanta, Indiana, Miami, Philly, Toronto. So, like, you have a good schedule with good breaks in there. I mean, the Jazz probably, I have to think the Jazz will probably be the first team to 20 wins.
Mm-hmm.
I would think so. But who knows? We'll see. I just think the Jazz have to find who they are to kind of put a bow around this. The teams that are going to be at the top of the NBA have to find who they are.
Yeah.
The Nets, the Lakers, the Clippers, how are they going to, when is Kawhi going to be back? Like, when is Klay Thompson going to be back for Golden State? Jamal Murray for Denver. Like, when are these guys going to be back? That's when we get to Christmas, I'm guessing these teams still are not who they're going to be. So I think it just takes time. Best team in the NBA right now, though, I have no doubt. I feel very strongly it's either the Bucks or the Bulls. I mean, because the Bucks, by the way, are playing great basketball as well.
Yeah, I think what's happening here is people, when you say, "Hey, who's the best team in the NBA?" they're taking that to mean that you think that the Bulls are just an outright better team than the Jazz, and that's not what that means.
No.
What we're saying is that, today, a better way to phrase the question would be, who's playing the best basketball right now? And that would be the Bulls. They are playing the best basketball right now.
Isn't that what I said? I think I said it's playing the best basketball.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, people are confused.
Well,
so
like I said, you shouldn't ingest peyote. Did Bojan injure his wrist again? No, he's battling a shoulder, but
he's always hurt, dude.
He doesn't look like the same guy. He's one guy that I would, I know we say this pretty much every day, but I keep an eye on Bojan Bogdanovic.
The guy is always dealing with something. He always plays, but he's always dealing with something.
And Eric's asking for a Bojan drop, so, it is what it is. Teddy Wayman says Bulls are playing really good ball. Going to be tough for the Jazz to beat them. Spencer says there are maybe 4 basement teams this year that you can go into assuming a win, and Houston would be one of those, even though they're very athletic and pose unique problems for the Jazz. I would think that you would assume that you would just mark this as a win.
Bojan.
Yeah, but Bojan's got to play well.
Bogdanovic.
Bogdanovic. I think that you're going to have to work for this win tonight. They're giving you nothing. Jeremy Bolton says, too bad those smoking shoes are ruined by that sad excuse for a mascot. He's talking about Swoop. Did somebody mention the shoes? Oh, yeah. MGTV says, I like those shoes you have under the Nerf hoop. Those are Air Jordan 6 Bordeaux's that Jake doesn't own. I do.
Yeah.
But if you look on my, by the way, the Twitter feed, The Monty Show, MONTY, The Monty Show, Jake's actually got some.
Air Jordan 1 Low All-Stars.
They're pimping. All black, patent leather.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Jordan game's been good to us lately.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
And then that 1 Low comes out today.
Oh, is it
today?
today?
We're going to lose. Will Luca's mom be back? Yeah, James, I'm not sure. From what I understand, she's got a hip issue and she walks with a limp. Do you guys even watch Jazz games? No.
Nah, we don't. Not at all. Nope.
I love that that's become like a joke on this show.
Do you know what that's like these days?
Yeah, I mean, who's got time to watch Jazz games?
I don't. I mean,
the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are on. Come on.
I want to thank me.
Yeah, I hear they are giving Caruso the number 23 in Chicago.
That's what I heard too, man. And he's also wearing the headband, so you know.
Because you said he's the best player ever, right?
Yeah, he's the best
we're going to
player
replace this Jordan poster with a Caruso poster, right?
In my eyes, he's the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah. Do we have to get you like a Caruso fathead?
Yeah,
to put
we may.
behind
I mean,
you?
we may have to start adding more fatheads. You know,
There's some room behind you there next to Bake.
We may
get the
listen,
Caruso fathead.
Bake might have to come off the wall, man. He's having a bad season.
Thursday Night Football tonight after you hit subscribe. And by the way, give us a thumbs up. Appreciate that. It really helps the channel grow. And then give us a subscribe, and you could win this Xbox Series S. That was also a raging debate that turned out of nowhere yesterday. Well, here's why I want a disc. I want to play Super Mario Brothers.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
Get a Wii.
Wii.
Now, we're going to give you an Xbox Series S. 120 frame rates per second. I mean, what more do you need to know?
512 gigs of solid state drive.
Erection. Take a picture that you're subscribed to the Monty Show on YouTube. Tag us on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. And you have to do us both.
Whoa.
That came out wrong.
Whoa.
SLC Supercars. SLC Supercars. Tyler P. says they ask you that because sometimes your takes aren't close. Ask us what? Okay, so let's play this game.
Yeah,
okay?
let's do it.
I'm open to this. What takes do I have that aren't close? Or that Jake has that aren't close?
Yeah, let's hear some of them.
Because I love to open this. Because we don't often, well, we do every day, say we told you so. But it's going to be pretty tough to go back through the annals of history.
The annals?
Yeah, ass vacuum
of
history.
This is a code kind of board.
It's going to be tough to go back the last 18 months and point to something we've been wrong on the Jazz.
Yeah.
Whether it was Dennis Lindsey getting fired, whether it was not making trades at the deadline, Rudy's contract.
Told you the day he signed that contract. It was a mistake. And everybody called us stupid. Now what does everybody say?
Joe Barajas Wilson says, trade Royce Azubuike and some picks for Dylan Brooks. I would do that.
I would. Dylan Brooks would be a nice addition.
Jeremy Bolton says, your Jaren Hall take is garbage. Okay, well, have we been wrong on that?
Okay.
So let's talk about Jaren Hall.
Okay, let me preface this. So when in the comments, when you say, hey, this take or that take is garbage, I would like to hear a why. I want your opinion on it, not just what you disagree with.
Not like this is why, but
right.
That's BYU. But you just Anyway, so how have I been wrong on Jaren Hall? Because Jaren Hall was clearly playing injured, right? When we had the whole Conover Jaren Hall discussion. Jaren Hall was clearly
That's now made Jacob Conover into an NBA player.
Right. A 30-30-30 NBA player. But I don't think anybody disagrees that Jaren Hall is probably still injured.
Just so you can go to Pound Town.
Who's going to disagree that Jaren Hall is an average passer of the football? Because, I mean, he is not nearly even the best quarterback in the state. Like, who's going to disagree with that? And how are you going to, Eric C. says, damn, what happened to Grocock?
I don't know, dude. That tells you how good the Xbox is. Grocock came in here, stole the election, got the voting machines rigged up, and took home the Xbox.
Yeah. Eric C. says, damn, Greg Hawkins says, do you guys even watch BYU football?
We don't, dude. Not
at
all.
Does BYU play football?
I don't think so, honestly.
I
think they're more of a lacrosse school.
I thought they were just AAU because all their players are like 35 years old. I could be wrong.
How dumb do you think I am?
MGTV says, I'm not going to lie. I'm not a Jazz fan. I'm a Donovan Mitchell fan, so I have to support the Jazz just because. Well, the Jazz are not a bad team to support. They're very good. You're going to win more than
Does
you're
that
gonna
fall
lose.
into the sus category?
Yeah. Spencer Morgan, Monty take Friday before BSU game. BYU is 4 deep at quarterback. Am I wrong? No, wait. I never said they were 4 deep. I'm not the 4 deep guy. Go back and watch. I said they have 4 guys at quarterback, but you have a guy who hasn't played a snap of football.
I would say they're definitely 3 deep.
They're 3 deep.
Yeah.
Jaron, Baylor
Conover.
Romney, and Jacob Conover. Those 3 guys. My guess is those 3 guys walk into pretty much any school, and they're no worse than the number 2 quarterback on a
Remember,
roster.
Alabama was recruiting Jacob Conover.
All 3 of those guys. Like, I think Baylor Romney could go and start at just about any school. Baylor Romney starts at Utah. Baylor Romney certainly starts at Weber or Utah State. Baylor Romney probably doesn't start at UVU, though. Probably doesn't start. Anyway, my point is, Baylor Romney probably would be, I don't know. I mean, like, he would start at pretty much any Pac-12 school. Maybe not UCLA, DTR. He would start at USC. He'd start at Arizona. He probably wouldn't start at Arizona State. Yeah, so he's probably 9 out of 12 schools, 10 out of 12 schools.
Yeah.
Like, Baylor Romney's a really good quarterback. So I have no problem saying that BYU's basically 3 deep. I mean, you have an unproven guy who's never taken a meaningful snap as your 4th quarterback.
What's the disagreement, though? This is what I'm trying to understand. What is the disagreement? Is a disagreement that they're 3 deep? Because they are 3 deep.
They are 3 deep.
That's not a question.
Well, and UB Snunked made a really good point. He said they watch BYU hockey, guys. Come on.
Oh, my bad.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Duh.
You should have told me we were talking about Conover the center, not Conover the quarterback.
Icy
Jesus.
Cougs. Let's go. Anyway, the point is.
Come on.
Casey says BYU may not play football on Saturdays, but they have one hell of a devotional every Tuesday afternoon. Exactly right. Jeremy Bolton says, plus he single-handedly beat Utah. Jeremy, why are you being like this today?
Jeremy, please.
I think Jeremy Bolton woke up with a flamethrower today. I don't know.
I'm a man.
Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers at the Arizona Cardinals.
Just Aaron Rodgers. Everybody else is hurt.
Yeah, good. I hate Aaron Rodgers. And I'm with his family. I hate him. I shouldn't say that. The Cardinals are 6.5 points in this game. 50 points the number. 620 Fox and the NFL Network. So now you know that J.J. Watt, much like Chris Paul and Mike Conley, water's wet and J.J. Watt's out for the year. He has got...
when he's down.
Is what it is.
Damn.
Is what it is, motherfucker. J.J. Watt's out for the year with a shoulder injury, likely. He's going to have surgery. He's likely done for the year. And I don't think the Arizona Cardinals miss a beat. Marcus Golden has given them very good pass rushing reps. Now, according to ESPN.
Adam Schefter.
Scheftinator. In an email that he got from the Washington football team.
Oh, okay.
Adam Schefter's reporting. Come on, that was a little funny.
Yeah, please respect my privacy. In this question.
They're going to have Jones back for on the edge for Arizona. And I think that you're in a pretty good spot here. I think they cover this number because with Green Bay without Davante Adams and Allen Lazard, I think makes life very difficult for them.
Yeah.
They're going to have to dominate in the middle of the field. Their tight ends are going to have to be incredible. I think Jones is going to have one of the best days, running the football. And I think it's going to be very difficult for Green Bay to win this game in Arizona.
Yeah. Do we happen to have the number? I didn't on this game. Did we pull that?
-6.5, as I just said for Arizona. The number is 50.
Okay, good. Yeah. So
you should listen to the show.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Cool. I'm listening now. Here's the deal. I think that the Cardinals are going to dominate this game. I think that this game on paper looks a lot closer than it is actually on the field. I think that the Packers are beat up. And I think that the Cardinals are playing good football. I don't actually think that losing J.J. Watt is that big of a blow to this team because they still have a ton of pass rushing talent. It's not like he was the only one and that was it. I mean, as all the guys you were just lining out, you're still going to be fine. So I don't know why everyone's making some big thing out of J.J. Watt. You knew this guy was going to miss time.
Watt.
So
I don't understand why teams invest in players who are always injured.
Dude, you're going to piss off Jazz fans.
Okay, relax. Look, I specifically J.J. Watt. You knew he was going to be hurt,
and you signed him.
Like AJ Green, I can understand a little more. You needed like a teacher, a
And
veteran.
he's been good.
And but he's a guy you know is going to be injured all year, right? But you have a little more depth there. But J.J. Watt was a huge investment. You owe him. I think he's got this year and next. It's like $15 million.
Yeah.
I mean, if you win a Super Bowl this year, which you're doing quite well in that effort, I don't know why teams continue to do that.
I don't know. But the fact is I think they're going to dominate this game. I really do. I don't think that this is going to be particularly close. I think this is probably this is 30 for the Cardinals, and I think probably 21-17 for the Packers. I just don't see the Packers going on the road to the best team in the league. No. Putting up 27-30 and being in this game. And if they do, it's going to be because the Cardinals make a bunch of mistakes on defense, which they haven't done yet. They've been good defensively. So everything that I've seen so far on tape tells me the Cardinals will dominate this game.
Ace's wife says, let me guess, you hate the Packers. Who knew? I do hate the Packers.
What's the like about the Packers, dude?
I'm just honestly asking.
What is to like?
Tell me what's likable about the Green Bay Packers.
You've got a garbage human being playing quarterback.
Garbage.
You've got they're just not likable, dude. Like, I mean, at least with the Cowboys, I can laugh at Jerry Jones and the way he eats his breakfast sandwich. Like,
well, and Dak Prescott is an MVP candidate if he can play.
So like, I mean, I don't know what is. I just don't like anything about the Packers. They're just not likable.
No, nothing. Who likes the Packers?
Douche.
God. Anyway, the point is, I love the Arizona Cardinals tonight. I really do. By the way, did you see the update on your guy, Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun
Watson said yesterday, no, I will not play for Carolina, who had some like low-key interest in Deshaun Watson. Like they tried to be under the radar with it. Well, when you're trying to trade for a guy accused of 22 sexual assaults, I kind of think that's difficult to do. He said he will only approve a trade because he's got a full no trade. He will only approve a trade to the Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I understand that they have zero personal income tax there, state income tax. But, like, is he in any position to...
He thinks he is.
This is going to cost him...
millions.
Well, beyond that, this is going to cost him at least a full season if he doesn't approve a trade.
Yeah.
I mean, you can never get that back. And, I mean, your money-making window is so short.
Yep.
I mean, it is... I don't know, man. Like, it just feels like Deshaun Watson. Why has the NFL just not set him aside? Why is the NFL not Trevor Bauered him?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It doesn't really surprise me per se, just because the NFL has always been a league that's like, well, we got to have enough information to make a decision and yada, 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 and we don't, so we're not going to do anything about it. So it's just going to sit here in limbo, and we're just going to ride out the string.
But the right thing to do when a guy is accused of sexually assaulting 22 women,
yeah,
it's probably not to have him play in your league.
I would agree, especially the NFL.
Yeah. By the way, Ace's wife in Vanishing Mode essentially says this show is all about the teams you like or hate.
Okay, is that not what sports are about?
I'm your
sorry.
Point is what?
What is the point?
Right? Like, by the way,
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm genuinely asking you.
Like, what is the point of that? I agree with that.
What is the point you're making?
Hey, man, why do you host a podcast and only talk about the teams you like or hate?
Well, what else are we supposed to talk about?
I don't know.
What do you want us to talk about? Badminton in China?
What was in the water when people woke up today? What did you ingest before you started commenting on this show?
You guys have been having that Dasani, haven't you?
Like, what is going on? We have an amazing comment section, and today it's just freaking weird.
And as you can see, I'm going through some shit right
Yeah,
now.
And it's okay,
apparently.
guys. It's okay. It's okay that you're going through some ass right now, but, we got to,
Jaron Hall, or Eric C. says, will Jaron have a nice NFL career? Well, if he ever runs again. James Knight says the good old water's wet analogy never gets old. Never.
No, it doesn't.
It never gets old.
No, it doesn't.
Ever. Casey Finlinson says, my shop goes into full TO, and we get popcorn ready and get paid for an hour to watch devotional every Tuesday.
Wow.
That's amazing. Good for you, man. BYU is a great place to work. Everybody I know that works at BYU,
They getting
and
paid.
I probably know half a dozen people. Well, the jobs could pay better, but they like the benefits at BYU are pretty incredible. Jeremy Bolton says those opening prayers are usually fire, but you haven't lived till you've heard the special musical number. Okay, so I got in the car the other day with BYU radio on. It was still on Sirius. That was one serious discussion on BYU radio.
That's enough of that crap.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like it was probably apropos. So I go to the gym every day about sorry.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, 2 O's and fat ass.
Yeah.
We go to the gym every day about
Don't be
lunchtime.
rude.
Right? And I get in the car and it's like, like there's a guy, and when you listen to religion on the radio, and you probably don't, because I don't either, but this one time
At band camp?
and it's like, this is BYU radio.
Makes me want to puke.
Well, okay, take it easy. This is BYU radio. Pornography is killing men,
Yeah, next question.
and murder is wrong. That's next on BYU radio.
I'm going to do that.
Like, that's how it's presented. It's like, what?
It is just a different vibe, bro.
What? So, like, I had left it on in Klaus. My Audi SQ5 is named Klaus. So I had left it on in Klaus from the football game the other day. And you get in there, and the guy is talking about like the pitfalls of being a man. The pitfalls of being a man in today's world. Have you tithed yet today? Like, it was just so awkward.
So let me ask the people this. Let me ask the people this. Is naming your car still cool? Is that still a thing?
Why, yes, of course it's still a thing.
Yes, it is.
Everybody should name their car Jesus or Joseph.
And please tithe.
And if you drive a VW Beetle, you should name it Mary. Now it's going to be this whole voice thing. Anyway, the point is, like, it was awkward. And yes, you name your car.
I don't know. Do you?
What do you name? What did you name your car?
I don't have a name for my car.
Jacob, named after the Bible.
What a good guy.
He's a virgin.
Which
What
they're
did
not.
you?
Bro.
Okay, Jeremy. Jeremy says, my car's name is Jaron Hall because he's efficient and gets the job done.
Shame.
Oh, my God. That's hysterical. Oh, Bronco would pay BYU devotionals. Bronco would play BYU devotionals before games to get the players pumped up.
How the fuck else would you do this job?
That's why we lost the Las Vegas Bowl. Did he really play devotionals before the game? No, like hours before the game. I know that they would. I know
They're playing devotionals in the stadium over the loudspeaker.
All right, let's go. Hey, let's go. 2 minutes to kickoff. Crank up the devotional. This is BYU Radio.
Welcome to Allegiant Stadium.
Greg Wrubell and the new skin play-by-play guys will be back in a minute. But first, let's talk about your penis.
No, but I will with your wife.
Sorry.
We're children on this show.
We are going to hell.
Hey, by the
We're
way,
going to hell.
what's his face's wife? Are you happy? We're not talking about the teams we like or hate. We're talking about devotionals now.
UB Snunked said, can you do your intros like this from now on? Hey, yo, man. Oh, my God.
Dude.
Eric C. says he can't wait for Bronco to end BYU's season.
Oh, my God, dude.
Eric.
Please.
Eric. We all know San Diego State. No, never mind. The Eclectic Redhead said, I don't remember what my son named my current car. My older car, they are both Toyota Highlanders because kids. But my last one was named Maximus Prime.
Okay.
Okay.
I like that.
UB Snunked said devotionals were the night before. Yeah, that's what I would think.
We're going to go out and kick their ass.
Yeah. Go team. No self-pleasuring in the hotel room tonight on BYU Radio. Right? Like, keep your jeans on. Anyway, Cam Harrison says San Diego State LMAO. Dax says, I tune into the show every morning to feel the spirit. You guys are really hitting the nail on the head. Okay,
Wow.
speaking of feeling the spirit.
Wow.
Okay, wait, that came out.
Yeah.
Here's what's gonna happen, Tonto.
Okay,
Wow.
let's hit the reset button. And this is why you don't live in the shadow of the Okir Temple, because, like, that thing. What do you think the church pays for electricity every year?
Too much. And by the way, it's not Okir, it's Ochre.
Okir, same thing. Who cares?
White iguanas.
It's a white salamander. Stop it. It's a white salamander. What do you think? Do you think the church has like a lump sum payment they make to Rocky Mountain Power?
Probably.
For like the light bill?
Yeah, probably.
Because the light bill at the temples, I don't know how they. I don't know how they do it. But if you notice, like the temples are all on prime real estate and they are lit, bro.
Yep.
Like number one, they're billion-dollar buildings that are beautiful.
And you can see them from like 50 miles away.
From Nantucket.
Yeah, dude.
Like it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I don't know. We were walking the dog last night around Queer Lake, and what? I tithe. It's fine. We were walking the dog around the lake here in Daybreak.
It is Ochre Lake.
Ochre Lake on BYU Radio. Kickoff is next. Go Cougs.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I'll stop. Seriously, I'll stop now. And I was just noticing we were walking up the street, and you can see like the I can't remember the name of the thing on the top of the
thing.
The
thingy
gold
thing.
The
guy.
gold guy with the
The
horn
guy
and
with the
stuff.
horn and stuff.
Nice horn, bro.
Yeah.
You can see that thing from like forever.
Yeah.
And it just glows. And I look out my back windows, and that thing just glows all night long.
In the winter, when it's snowing, it has this like effect where it. I don't know how to describe it other than just say it's almost like just a golden hue, kind of, in the sky. It's weird.
Let's see. UB Skunked says, people are staring at me laughing hysterically. Subscribe to the Monty Show, bitches. Hey, man. True words have never been spoken. You know. Casey Finlinson says Maroney. Let's talk about Costco versus Sam's Club, please. Speaking of condoms.
Does anybody go to Sam's Club?
Yeah, it's D'Angelo Maroney, correct. Yes, Sam's Club is huge here.
Really?
I think people prefer Sam's Club over Costco here.
Seriously?
Yeah, so I used to have a friend who now hates me because I wouldn't join the church. True
Maroney.
story. True story. So I am not LDS.
What?
Okay, I am Christian.
What?
I am a believer, but I am not LDS, right?
Did you tithe?
Did you? Hey, do you want to come over for a nice chicken dinner? Like my neighbor, when we lived in Sandy, like I had bishopric, like I was surrounded. This motherfucker, like this sinner moves into the one house that's surrounded by bishopric. I kid you
people
not.
Myron?
Like the stake president lived on our right, and like bishopric on the left, bishopric across the street. And here we are, like drinking beer on the driveway, blowing off fireworks on the 4th of July. They were not sad to see us go, I don't think. No, that's not true. They were amazing. But the lady that lived next door to me, like she was really, you know, that older LDS woman, like in her 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Her son still lives with her in her basement. And she was like, hey, you know, we're making some chicken casserole. Do you want to come over? And, you know, we would love to have a meal with you. And we were like, nah, we're busy. Maybe next time. Okay, well, how about if you can't do it tonight, how about Saturday night? And it's like, well, like it was just that. And so anyway, so I had a friend that was like devout LDS.
Mm-hmm.
And he stopped talking to me because I would not go to church with him. Like just stop talking to me. It was the weirdest thing.
It is what it is, dude.
How did we get here? Oh, and he was a devout Sam's Club guy. Like would not go to Costco.
I don't think I've ever been in a Sam's Club.
It's Costco. It just says Sam's Club outside. It is like hot dogs, Cafe 150, Sam's Club. Like everything.
Really?
It is almost a blueprint of like Costco is Sam's and Sam's is Costco. They are almost exactly the same thing.
Costco Club?
Except the Sam's Club gives the Walton family billions.
Right.
But do you have a preference one way or the other? Like
I just don't go to Sam's Club. I mean, I'm not trying to hate. I just am telling you I've never been in a Sam's Club.
Teddy Wayman says Costco is by far better than Sam's Club. I would agree. It just feels better. It just feels better. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess. I so this is totally off the top. We weren't prepared to talk about this really, but like I legit have never been in a Sam's Club.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so what do you get at Costco? This is what I really wanted to talk about because so here's the genesis of this story. So in China, they opened a Costco in Shanghai, and it was a riot. In 2019, they opened the first Costco in China. And there's a riot of humanity to the point where they had to close the store because they were overrun with people trying to get in.
Yeah.
And so eventually it calms down. That store's booming. So they're going to open up a second location. And right now they're trying to figure out where to get enough chickens to make the rotisserie chicken. Because so much rotisserie chicken is in demand when they open that Costco in Shanghai, they're concerned there will be a chicken shortage, which there already is because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
They're concerned that they may have to open this new Costco without enough rotisserie chicken. If you don't have rotisserie chicken, why are you going to Costco?
I don't know. That's why I go.
The rotisserie chicken's amazing. Furthermore, the already pre-chopped rotisserie chicken you get in the vacuum bag.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Cannot beat
Phenomenal.
it. Cannot beat it. But, what is your go-to item at Costco? Do you have one thing or several things?
Well,
or?
I mean, on the norm, it's the chicken. It is,
But not the rotisserie chicken.
No, like the whole young chicken that we can smoke.
Yes.
From time to time, steak. I do love the refrigerated section where you can get like the taquitos and you can get like
the frozen aisles
stuff. Like those are phenomenal.
Do you still eat taquitos? Are you cheating on me?
I'm not cheating on you. I'm just saying from time to time we have taquitos. So like when you
the
ask
mini,
me,
do you remember
the
mini
mini
tacos?
taquitos, dude?
The mini tacos
in the air fryer.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Wow, we should smoke some of those. Those would be fire.
Like Costco pizza.
Bro, those would
the
be...
frozen Costco cheese pizza we used to eat all the time.
Why don't we get one of those this weekend?
Because I'm fat and I'm trying not to eat that stuff.
Dude.
Costco pizza is terrible. Do you realize that?
Who cares?
Costco pizza is one of the worst, but you can get like actual healthier pizza because pizza is terrible for you.
Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah. The things I buy at Costco, vitamins. I get all my like plant sterols, CoQ10s,
cocaine,
magnesium, cocaine,
right? Cocaine.
Advil. The Kirkland brand Advil liquid caps. I don't have one sitting.
Caps
are amazing. What? Jimmy the Hillbean.
That's a new one.
The filtered comment says, "What steroids are you drinking?"
We're not drinking steroids, dude.
It's Ghost Protein. What are you talking about?
This is the Monty Show.
By the way,
We're drinking steroids
on BYU Radio. You don't drink steroids, bro. Don't you inject them?
You inject them, or you use it as a cream. It's topical.
You mean what steroids are we drinking? What is wrong with you guys today?
Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
This is Ghost Protein with a teaspoon of creatine in it. Which, by the way, we need to cycle off creatine next week.
Yeah, I know. Next week will be a good week for it, too, because we won't be lifting as much because we're going to Mammoth.
Yeah, so here's my go-to at Costco. The vitamins, for sure. No doubt about it. The produce section, like they have bags of lettuce, bagged salad mixes that you can get.
Yeah.
Love
Excellent.
those.
Dude, the little salad bowls, I wish they sold them at every Costco. The Costco in downtown Salt Lake, those salad bowls are a game changer.
The commercial Costco downtown, the business
game
level.
Changer, bro.
So
game changer.
But here's the other thing. I've stopped eating peanut butter.
Me too.
I've pretty much stopped eating it.
I haven't
now.
stopped eating it, but yeah.
Why do you need a Costco card if you don't have any kids?
Bro, are you being serious?
Costco's amazing, dude.
Bro, dude, so as a single guy, I don't need Costco as much as like a family would. However, yeah, things like vitamins, things like the salad stuff,
power tools,
batteries.
light bulbs.
I buy all my batteries at Costco because they come in like gazillion packs.
Air filters for the air conditioning and heater.
You can buy oil at Costco for your
tires.
car.
You can buy tires.
I bought my winter tires from Costco, which I totally regret, but that's fine.
AirPod Pros. Like they have prescriptions
stand-up
alone.
Desks.
Yeah, like we have 2 stand-up desks we bought there. Prescriptions to go to the Costco pharmacy, that's reason enough to have a Costco card. It's so much cheaper. The vision department, like to buy glasses or contacts, way cheaper at Costco.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many things that are cheaper at Costco. Why wouldn't you have a Costco card?
Yeah.
Right?
Gas?
Rotisserie bats is the answer, Spencer Morgan says. Wow. Rotisserie, stop.
We're
don't,
not going
no,
down. No, we're not doing
no.
that today. No.
Dax says, I don't need a 48 pack of Mountain Dew. No, you just don't know that you need a 48 pack
Yeah,
of Mountain
I mean,
Dew.
obviously the double XP for Call of Duty on its own is worth it. Come on.
Yeah. Eric C says, go to Gomez Mexican restaurant when in Mammoth. Okay.
Okay.
I will try that. Seriously, I will.
Should we make some content while we're in Mammoth? What do you think?
We can. Okay, so gas is reason enough alone to have a Costco membership. But what's the number one thing? If you could only buy one thing ever at Costco, it would be
Chicken.
probably meat.
Chicken.
Yeah, pork chops. They're pork chops.
Oh my God, they're pork chops though.
They're pork loin.
Oh, dude, bro, whoa, the mac and cheese. We're forgetting the best item.
Oh my God.
The mac and cheese.
The pot pie.
The pot pie. The
pot
apple pie.
Oh my God.
The mashed potatoes. Dude, God,
Yeah,
come on. What are we
dude.
doing here? Freaking amateurs on this show.
Well, because we never eat that. I miss eating bad food. You know, like yesterday I ordered a gyro for lunch.
Where'd you order from?
Slovaki's or whatever it's called.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, it's on DoorDash.
Okay.
The sandwich was amazing.
So you just got a traditional Euro, or what'd you get?
I just got a regular
Like
lamb,
a little lamb.
pita tzatziki
I
sauce.
love lamb so much, dude. It's so good.
But the problem is they kill baby lambs for it.
I need to make another stop at Mo Betta's soon.
Oh,
I need some Mo Bettas in my life,
God,
dude.
I haven't been to Mo Bettas in too long, and there's one right down the street.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss eating like French fries. I miss eating I cannot tell you. This weekend is Halloween, obviously, and in Daybreak, Halloween's like a happening.
It's lit.
And so we have like 3 cases of candy bars and like 2 huge bags of candy. And my kryptonite is either a Snickers bar or a Twix bar. And the little mini Twix that comes in that like variety bag,
Savage.
which you also get at
Costco.
You
You can buy Traegers at Costco.
You can buy Traeger smokers at Costco. You can, or you can use our affiliate link below, so I make money.
Yeah, or you can buy pellets. Like I'm telling you, Costco has a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
dude.
Costco has everything. It has nothing to do with your kids.
Toothbrush heads.
Well, I like getting head at Costco. Anyway, the point is that not what?
Bro.
Okay, let's move on.
Y'all about to fuck this up.
Those little mini Twix bars that you can just one bite take all the caramel off the top of the cookie.
Bomb.
You know, and yeah, Kevin, 15 pounds. Legit, well, 19
Wait, what is he
or
saying?
18 pounds.
What's
How
he
many
saying?
pounds have I lost? 18 pounds.
Yeah, you're pushing 20.
Yeah, and yesterday, again, we benched. We did
Incline.
Incline bench is so much more difficult.
Beast mode, dude.
But I'm training too much now. I know I'm doing too much. I was incline pressing 90-pound dumbbells yesterday, and my right shoulder afterwards was just like, dude, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Can we just go home and go to bed?
Yeah.
Like my right shoulder, like my right, what's called a delt, my right anterior delt was just like, oh, I couldn't do it. And so I was done. I actually did press those 8 times. And we went over to do like cable flies, and I just couldn't do it.
Nah, I'm fine.
My arm was like, nah, bruh. Nah, no self-love tonight. Monty hosts a devotional before the game. Refreshments will be provided. Go out and...
The Monty Show on BYU Radio.
Guys, let's have great gap discipline.
Be your best self.
You attack that gap with all of your manhood.
Just don't do it in your dorm room.
Make sure you keep your jeans on in the dorm room. And you explode into the A gap.
Oh dear. Oh my.
Hey guys, saw your training video. Been joking around a lot in chat, but seriously, you have good form. I think you're doing great with fitness. Thanks, Greg. We really prioritize fitness. If you don't follow a guy called Athlene X on YouTube and Instagram, he's the guy that I pretty much, I don't believe in taking advice from like 1,000 people. Like I've done a lot of research into, hey, how to, lose weight, burn fat while putting on muscle. And that's really been it. I eat 3,000 calories or less. Honest to God, I eat 3,000 calories or less. I take in no added sugar and I lift 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And
The gains are crazy.
The gains are crazy. It's
you know what I'm really curious about,
unbelievable.
though? So we played basketball last weekend for the first time in like 6 months.
Oh, by the way, I don't have COVID. I haven't died yet.
Yep, you haven't died yet. Imagine that. You know, we played, and we both felt like really good.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sore the next day, really at all. And so we're going, like we've been saying a couple of times, we're taking a trip to Mammoth Lakes next weekend to snowboard. And I'll be really curious to see how we do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my feeling is we'll do well, but it's just crazy. Like, we have not done a ton of cardio. We've been just strength training our ass off for like what feels like forever.
4 months.
Like a long time.
I was laying in bed last night, admiring my physique. I was looking at my...
And just kind of scruff it and play with it when it's wet.
Why? I was looking at my fitness app, and we really started working out at the end of July. Like the last week of July, since the last week of July, I've worked out pretty much 5 days a week. There was 1 week in August or 1 week in late August where I missed 3 straight days. But other than that, we've worked out. I'm sorry to wake you.
Dude.
We've worked
it's
out.
It's part of the conversation. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we've worked it. The hardest part is I'm not getting a lot of sleep.
It's exhausting, bro.
I get between 5 hours and 50 minutes and 6 hours of sleep every night.
It's exhausting.
And the hard part is, even on Saturdays, I'll get like 6.5 hours of sleep because I don't like going to bed at 9 o'clock every night. You know, like Monday through Thursday or Sunday through Thursday night, I go to bed at like 9 o'clock. And it sucks, to be honest with you. The other night when the Jazz were the late game, dude, it was excruciating to stay up and watch that game. Like I was fighting, dozing off, and it was brutal, man. Like because my life is so built on, hey, get up at 4:45, get in the shower, you know, pick out what shoes you're going to wear for 5 minutes, let the dogs out, drink your steroids. You know, like it's just the same thing. Ooh, it's 8 o'clock. The draw's open. The draw's open. The draw's open. Oh, my motherfuckers.
Nike app or sneakers?
Nike app, I think. Oh, my God. Come on. Shoes. Jordan. I'm going to lose another draw right here. No, 10/29. They bumped them back to tomorrow? They bumped them back to tomorrow. You got to be kidding me. That's so frustrating. Donnie, please.
Are you mad?
Ooh, the Air Jordan 1 mid. Oh, are you kidding me? Yes, sir. I'm taking that all day long.
What, the bread?
Yeah. How about that?
You have that already.
Yeah, so I can make some money on it. Okay. That's awesome. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Wow, see, they dropped a... Dude, look at that. They dropped a bunch of fire today. What is going on in the Nike app?
That's only $100 too. Nice, dude.
What in the world, folks? Look at this, man. We making paper. I don't know why I just said that. I just wanted to sound cool.
I actually really like this one they just dropped. This turquoise one.
Yeah,
that's cool, dude.
Yeah,
but
dude.
yeah. So like, you know, it just is exhausting, dude. It like, yeah. I yawn a lot on the show because I'm fucking tired.
Yeah,
dude.
it's a long.
I am tired, bro.
It's a long day.
Like,
Monty, do you ever worry about paying your bills with how many shoes you buy? Never.
Nope. Make more money, not worry about how little you have.
I don't worry about how little money I have because I have not to worry about that. Are you guys snowboarding in Hawaii? Man, I want to. I'm going to Maui, not Kona. You can snowboard Kona, by the way. I would love to. Been snunked. I love Hawaii. If I'm ever wealthy enough, I will own a home on Maui. I love Hawaii.
Yeah.
Love it. Eric DeVera says, yeah, that Athlete X guy is a beast. He is. 6 days a week, I knew creatine was a steroid. Exactly. James Knight says, you're just a catch-and-shoot guy, I imagine, Jake, while Monty's doing the heavy lifting down in the block. Am I wrong? No, you're not wrong at all. When we play basketball, we pretty well dominate.
It's unfair if we're on the same team.
It is.
It is fucking unfair. Bro.
To the point where we try not to be on the same team. Oh, dude, this is out. The gold laser is out.
Are you going to be okay over there,
and
bro?
they don't make it in my size.
Are you going to be okay?
Are you kidding me?
Jordan Reserve.
There's a Jordan Reserve?
Yeah, I think so on Sneakers app. Yes, there is.
Where? Oh, my God. What is going on? Come on, give it to me then.
Wait, is this... Hold on. Is this not updated? It said Jordan Reserve for a minute. Maybe that's... No, I feel like that's not updated. Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we play basketball, it is not fair. We rolled into the
It's
gym
really
last
not.
weekend, and we hadn't played in 6 months, and it was a showing. The 3-point display that I put on was a showing. Like,
Okay, so I got the breads.
nice.
You didn't get it. Oh,
I didn't get the low one either. That's fine, dude. That's fine. I need to stop buying shoes, bro. Seriously.
No, didn't get it. Anyway, yeah, so when we play basketball, I generally will play I can really pass. There's a couple of things I can do. When it's going in, I can really shoot. But I don't shoot the 3 well enough because I don't shoot it often enough. I don't try, I don't practice. But I play on the block really well. I like to think that I can shoot pretty effectively in my turnaround. I have a really good fadeaway. I have a middle of the paint turnaround jumper that's pretty much unblockable. But my true passion is passing. Like, there is no better pass than buzzing a guy's scalp with a pass right into the corner where Jake's waiting, and he drops that 3. Because he probably makes, I'm not even exaggerating, I would think you make about 65, 70% of your threes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. So, where are you guys boarding at this year? Let's get a Monty show.
Dude, let's do it,
get
man.
Together
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I would love to. We ride Park City.
Vale Resorts.
Yeah,
So,
anything Vale Resorts.
Anything Vale Resorts. Beaver Creek, Breckenridge, Heavenly,
North Star.
Where else? Obviously, yeah.
The
Park City.
Canyons, Park City.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying, obviously. Cause
We're going
here.
next Thursday and Friday. We're going to be off because we're going to Mammoth.
So talk about this package deal that you got or whatever.
Okay, so
whatever you ordered up.
Mammoth, the West Coast has gotten pounded with snow. So Tahoe, Mammoth is buried. So they're opening early. They're opening tomorrow, actually. So a week from right now, we'll be driving to Mammoth. And we paid $1,000 for two-day lift tickets and a hotel room at the Mammoth Inn to be right outside the lifts. And yet, when we looked on Airbnb, it was like $3,000 just for rooms. It was stupid expensive. So I feel like that was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, when you sent that to me, I was like, wow, really? Because, so you FaceTime me and were like, hey, this is what I was able to find. And initially, you didn't tell me that included the lift tickets. And then once you said that, I was like, let's go, dude. Let's do it. Like, I mean, $500 for to be on the hill, basically, with the lift tickets. Come on, bro. Like, you're not beating that. So
I think that's very difficult to do.
Yeah. So, it just is. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, we have Epic passes for Vale Resorts, which means we can ride any day we want, no blackouts. We get I think it's like 5 to 7 additional lift tickets for our friends. So if you guys want to ride, we have probably 15-ish lift tickets at our disposal.
You been snunked says peace and salutations, friends. Peace and salutations, friends. Thank you for watching the Monty Show on BYU Radio. That's for when you close the show today. Okay, I will use that. Bolton says, I'll be wearing my 3 jersey. Can't miss me because I'm slicing up the hill, destroying fools, and beating Utah.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, we generally will wear football jerseys, although this year I actually have lost enough inches in weight where I'm actually going to be wearing, who knew, snowboarding clothes. Like, I actually have I paid $1 million for this jacket I have. So I'm going to wear that. So I'm really stoked to be doing that. Why Mammoth? Because Mammoth is open, is why Mammoth.
Yeah.
And I've got a huge investment in snowboards that I cannot wait to get on the hill.
Dude, investment in snowboards, clothes, new boards, new bindings, new boots.
I still have not got my
new
step
goggles.
in bindings.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, we're in on it. We're in on it, seriously. How much are you guys exaggerating your bench? Why do so many people care what we bench?
What are you talking about? There's literally video proof on his Twitter account that I could bench 225 12 times.
Yeah,
it's not even in question.
Yeah, they're on a flat bench. I think I can probably do 3 reps at 315.
Yeah.
But why do I want to do that? I probably will never bench more than 225.
It's fine. There's no need. Everybody wants to keep going up, and I'm just like, dude, it's fine. I don't need to bench more than that.
I can flat bench. We did it last weekend. 105-pound dumbbells.
Yeah, easily.
8 times.
Easily, comfortably.
Incline, I'm not really trying to go over 90, 95 pounds. On incline, it's a wreck on your shoulders. But I don't know why people care so much how much you can bench.
Because it's a macho thing.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's a macho thing.
I more care about like how much thinning I've done. Like I'm thrilled. I have to tell myself, I have to remind myself to be excited about the shape that I'm in because I have terrible body image. It's something that I battle constantly.
Yeah.
Like it's a battle for me, honestly. It's really something that I have struggled with is body image. Because I just am at a point now where I work really hard. Like I eat for utility. I very rarely eat something I enjoy. And it's because that's just not how I'm programmed. If I eat the things that I enjoy, I eat too much of it and it's unhealthy. I eat for utility. So I eat a lot of protein and I eat a lot of vegetables. You know, like it just is what it is. You know, like it is, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, dude.
Greg makes a good point. He says, no one who actually lifts cares about your bench. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody. Are you aesthetic? Eric DeVera says, yeah, if a person only benches 70, that's okay as long as it's aligned to the result. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Euban Skunk says, have always wanted to board. I'm down for a meetup. Snowboarding changed my life, man. Like,
yeah,
I love every moment of it.
It's very freeing.
Now I'm kind of nervous to get back on the board because it's been 5 years since we've snowboarded.
I'm not. I literally think it'll take us probably maybe half a day to get our feet back under us.
Because when we were riding before we moved to Arizona, when we left Utah the first time and moved to Arizona, we were riding diamond. Like we were killing it. Like we can really snowboard. It's one of the few things that I'm very confident in saying, yeah, I can ride. Like I can crush it. Like when I worked in San Francisco, we went and snowboarded with Ski Patrol at North Star for a story that I did on the radio. And riding first tracks with them, they take you all the way to the top of the mountain. And they just all drop in off of this double black diamond. Like it ain't no thing, man. Nah, it's no big deal. I remember being terrified standing up there. And then you drop in and it's fine. It's good.
Yep.
Like it's amazing. The feeling of going 100 miles an hour down a hill and you're in complete control, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
There's a run at California North Star Resort that is called Axe Handle. And it's my favorite run by far. Yeah. I absolutely love Axe Handle. Jeremy Bolton says, any recommendations for a board or where to get one? Well, straight up, I'll tell you guys, the best board shop in Salt Lake, in my opinion, is a place called Salty Peaks. It's on 33rd, right off of the 15.
Mouth. It's right at the mouth. No, off the 215.
Off the 215.
At the mouth of Parlays.
Yeah, it's right off of 33rd. Salty Peaks. You can't miss it. Great board shop. I happen to be a GNU LibTech guy. I ride a GNU Rider's Choice. It is called a GNU Rider's Choice. And I just picked up a LibTech Travis Rice T-Rice Pro. So those are the two boards I ride. I'm trying to get into this Burton step-on technology for boots and bindings. It's supposedly a game changer for everybody who rides it. You'll never go back. But yeah, I ride Burton bindings. What's the name of the binding we ride?
Cartel
Bindings by Burton. And yeah, I'm a big GNU LibTech fan.
Yeah, same.
I mean, like they have an edge that they have a wave edge.
It's called
that gives
C2X.
you control. Like, I mean,
yeah,
the balance on the board, like it's
the
amazing.
reason I like GNU and LibTech is because no matter what situation you're in, you can get out of it. So like, like the board, you can ride switch if you have to. It's very flexible and pliable. So it's not it's not real rigid. It gives you a lot of flexibility on the hill. So even if you're not like riding park or anything, let's say that you got into whatever situation, and you had to make a quick turn or whatever, the board will go with you. It just is. That's why I like it. And yes, if you like to ride park, it can totally do that.
Well, and I think when you run into the idiot skier that cuts you off, which is inevitable. Do you remember at Squaw Valley that one year?
I torched her. I torched her.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I torched her.
So generally skiers are, so when you're riding down a hill, you're responsible for everything in front of you because you can see what's in front of you. People can't generally see what's behind them. But if you're going to make a sharp left-hand turn across the run, you probably should turn your head and check what's coming. Jake is 200 pounds of rocket ship on a snowboard. And, this one lady chose not to turn her head. And she took a left turn in front of you, and you absolutely trucked her.
Yeah, so, I mean, it wasn't – I didn't injure her. But basically what happened is I was on my toes, and she had turned left into me. I got the nose of my snowboard onto her ski tips, and I basically just did a toe edge stop. I kind of just turned to slow us down and took her to the ground, basically. Because if you don't, then that's when bad things happen.
Yes.
So I basically just kind of, in a controlled fashion that was very quick and looked worse than it was, took her to the ground because I couldn't avoid her. So,
Yeah. Hey, man.
And then I left her ass there after making sure she was fine.
But you blowed her up, dude. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, hey. Like I said, GNU Park Pickle in that accident. And I got a GNU Rider's Choice at Salty Peaks. Really excited to ride that board.
You
Super
destroyed
fire.
that woman. Like, God, Lord. That was a mistake she will never forget. You should probably play music. It's 8:15. Yeah, let's ride together. Let's find time. There's Brighton is buried.
Dude, we're gonna be riding every weekend, every single weekend.
Yeah,
That's
and I think what you're gonna see is we're gonna wind up doing a lot of like Thursday, Friday rides, or let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. Boy, let's see. Euban Skunk says BYU defense looking to call Jake to start the next game. Yes, they are. I probably will hit dumbbell incline and decline 55, 65-pound weights. For 8 to 10. Works just fine. My man, Greg, way to go. Jeremy Bolton says, good show, boys. Jaron Hall is the greatest. Deal with it.
Jaron Hall is the greatest.
Greg Hawkins says, stay tuned tomorrow for an address from the brothers Monty and Jake, both gaining knowledge of the truthfulness of BYU football. Be informed. Be inspired. The Monty Show.
Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.